and he still has trade value, but you just can't get him on the floor. Got to get rid of him. You got to let him go. I mean, like you said, he may be able to go somewhere else and probably won't be as much expected of him, but he'll probably be a big piece to a championship team. Um, a place like San Antonio,
Well, they probably the worst
where
team in the league though right now.
well, you might be right there, but I'm just saying the culture of a place like San Antonio, where they're not as predominantly with the coaching under a guy like Popovich, where we could just plug and play guys, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't really expect so much of them, like San Antonio, or maybe we could put him out there with Luca in Dallas.
Uh, the way Luca plays, I can't see that being a fit because they both need the ball in their hands so much to be effective. Like if, I hate watching that. Like I think Luca's a great player, but I hate watching them play because it's kind of like how we said LeBron. And okay, everybody stand off to the side. Let's see if LeBron can either create a shot for you or LeBron gonna get a bucket or get fouled. And that's how Luca play. It's like it's not fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a lot of ISO ball, kind of uh like what James Harden was in Houston.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy watching that either. But you know, just a few random thoughts on this gossip edition that I wanted to touch on now. But now that we done got into it, we probably got a few people joining us at this point. So the lead stories as of tonight, of course, Tom Brady has retired for the second time. And I think this is it. I really do think this is it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Um, but I don't consider Tom Brady the greatest football player I've ever seen.
That belongs to the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes.
For me as well. I mean, Deion Sanders uh, didn't need the ball in his hand to affect the game. He made tackles. He caught the ball. He affected all three phases of the football game. I mean, well, what else can you ask for?
Offense, defense, punt returns, kickoffs, and just for the hell of it, he played baseball, Major League Baseball.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I'm just gonna leave it at football.
Yeah,
We gonna that's just another dimension to the resume. It's just like, but I mean, just every phase of the game, he had an impact on. So he is the best football player I ever seen. Now,
yeah.
Tom Brady is the best quarterback I ever seen. I will give him that.
I'll give him. I'll give him. I'll give him that too. I can't say he's the best thrower of the football I've ever seen because I think that belongs to Aaron Rodgers. But just as far as playing the position to the highest level of quarterback is Tom Brady. I think before Tom Brady, I think it was safe to say it was Joe Montana, right? And
Yeah,
yeah, he took what Joe did and pretty much almost tripled with
yeah.
what he did.
Joe, you got okay. I'm gonna put it in this order. I'm gonna go Tom Brady, Joe Montana, uh, Peyton Manning, John Elway.
See, I couldn't appreciate Elway that much when he was playing because I hated the Denver Broncos. Like I hated everything from their logo, the Mile House Stadium, the colors. Like I hated everything about it. But he was nice, but I couldn't really appreciate how good he was, though.
Well, I understand that, but hell, we could give Aaron Rodgers his props, and he a Packer. So
But see, I don't
I
hate
mean,
Aaron Rodgers like everybody else.
I just think it's I don't know. Maybe you were maybe too young to really appreciate John Elway at the time. I don't know. Maybe you was in a different place in your life at that time because I seen John Elway go to I don't know how many Super Bowls he went to. I know he won. I
He
know he
won.
won two.
I think he went to 5.
And I want to say he went to 6
Let's see. Let's see. We can look that up.
because I remember the Broncos and the Buffalo Bills had the distinction of going to the Super Bowl time and time again, as far as also with the Minnesota Vikings, the Purple People Eaters of years ago. They were able to get to the Super Bowl and just repeatedly lose year after year after year.
He
And
went.
John Elway, he went to 5,
Yeah,
so he won 2.
he won
He
his
went
last.
out. Yeah, he went out. He won his last one, but John Elway was one of the best. And then I had to maybe fill it out with Dan Marino in the top 5. Peyton Manning. What did I say? Did I
You
put
said,
Peyton?
yeah, you said Brady, Montana, Manning, Elway, Marine. Would you say Marino 5?
Yeah, yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers don't crack your top 5 at all.
Not right now. Not right now. I mean, yeah. I guess he could take Dan Marino's spot, but
I would have to put him above that because he does have a Super Bowl, even though it's like almost 10 years, 10, 11 years ago. But just and don't he got the most MVPs? I think four MVPs, I think.
maybe. Yeah, I'll make that switch for you. I'll make that switch. We
Okay,
will.
just
We'll
have
put Dan Marino at number 6. We'll put Marino at number 6. But once again, Tom Brady, the best quarterback that I've seen, not the best football player that I've seen, because I've seen Tom Brady have the opportunity to catch 2 passes and couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So when you catch a pass, okay, when you throw the ball consistently, you're considered a quarterback.
correct.
So now when you decide that I'm gonna run a route and catch this pass, then you become a receiver.
AKA a football player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 targets, no catches. So he's not the best football player I ever seen play. I don't know how many tackles he's gotten. I'm pretty sure he's tackled someone during his career, but he doesn't affect the defensive side of the ball. He doesn't affect special teams, but he is the best signal caller in the game.
And,
So he is the best quarterback
yeah.
that I've seen play.
It's crazy. It's crazy because Dion didn't even have to get her interception or a tackle on defense and still affected the game because you wasn't looking that way. And he taking the your best guy, you might as well just shut it down. We can't look that way. That's still affecting the game. That's
He
crazy.
shut down one whole side of the field.
By
Yeah, you're
himself.
right.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think we agree on this. But much love for Tom Brady, man. Um,
And I was cool with the video too. How he announced it wasn't no press conference. It wasn't long and drawn out. He got straight to the points. The video was like 46 seconds long. I was cool with the way he even did it too. And even acknowledged, like, yo, I used up my essay last year, so I can't do that this year. I thought that
yeah.
was showing some humility and some humbleness. So I appreciate the way he did it.
What about the timing of it though? Like we going into the Super Bowl, we're going to Pro Bowl week, and then we trying to kind of focus on the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden he dropped this some retirement bomb. Didn't he do that last year?
I
Same
believe
time?
I believe it's the exact same day. Like 1 year ago today, he did the same thing. So I think
Yeah.
that's why I ain't mad at the timing because okay, let's keep it consistent or whatever. So, but I really think this is it for Tom. I really think he's played his last game. And trivia question: the last person to catch a pass from Tom Brady was Julio Jones. So just remember that if you ever need to win some money in a bar bet or something like that. And the last person he threw it to was Julio Jones, and it was an incomplete pass.
Okay. So repeat that again.
His last completion was to Julio Jones, and his last pass that he threw was an incomplete pass to Julio Jones.
So who was his last touchdown pass?
Oh, now that I don't. I got to go back and look at the game. Was it Mike
Bi-
Evans or the tight end?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Well, I'm just saying
Yeah.
you brought up a good point because sometime down the line, this is going to be a trivia question,
Uh-huh.
and it's going to be good. But I just think it's going to be important to know who that last touchdown pass went to as well. And then when you think about it, when we talk about his last incomplete pass, his last completed pass, and maybe we can look up his last touchdown pass somewhere down the line. But now, what's up on the horizons for Tom Brady now is an opportunity to be on television. Something wrong with your lighting there. What you got? Okay, got
Yeah. I was looking up the who caught the Tom Brady touchdown.
it. Okay. Yeah, well, he about to step into the. I guess he about to do the. I don't know if he with Fox
Yeah,
or gonna
Fox.
be a TV analyst, doing the football games. I'm looking forward to hearing him do that. Some tells me it's not gonna be as good as we think it's going to be.
I kind
What you think?
of I kind of lean towards what you thinking too. I think being that close to the game is gonna drive him crazy. So I think it's gonna be a short run for him, maybe 1 or 2 years. I think I think he's coming in wanting to be on the lead Fox team, but I just think being that close to the game, he's already had, family issues because he's dedicated so much time to the game. Even though it's going to be less of a strain on his family life, I think he's just going to be like, you know what, man, I'm going to just go play golf. I don't need this. I'm going to go live the Michael Jordan lifestyle. I only come out on select events, but other than that, I'm the GOAT. Hang me in the rafters, and I'm not waiting 5 years to get in the pro Hall of Fame. I'm going in
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. I believe. I don't think. I want to say he's ultra competitive, but I just think that retirement probably is going to be a little bit easier than we think for him. I just think if he could get an opportunity to get away, because we didn't think about it. He didn't really participate in training camp
Right?
for personal reasons, family things, and then stuff like that. But to really just be able to, for him to, when he's able to just sit back and just hear about his legacy and enjoy the fruits of his legacy. Uh, I don't know when the last time he's been in Michigan. I mean, maybe but it's good time for him because with the evolution of the Michigan football program and then just his legacy alone, maybe he can take out time to kind of enjoy some of them things. Uh, I wish him the best. I just don't know about the broadcast, the analyst thing. I'll be looking forward to hearing him do his thing. He's getting paid quite a bit of money to do that, so it better be good.
You
But
just you just gave me an interesting thought when you brought up Michigan. Now Jim Harbaugh and Ward Manuel kind of been at odds over this whole offseason and his new contract and what he gonna do, right?
okay.
Could you foresee a scenario where Tom Brady goes to Michigan to become the athletic director?
Uh Tom Brady. Nah.
You
The
can't
reason why is because he's gonna win every Sunday from here on out. He's gonna win every game. He's going to booth. And at the most he may get the itch to play. But to run a athletic program, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't think so. I think his star is too big for that. And the reason why I'm going to tell you this because of Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson went over the town and take over and work with the Lakers. And what Magic Johnson figured out was, I ain't got to do this. I'm Magic. All I got to do is smile, sell coffee. I'm Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't need this headache.
Yeah.
See, I think being an athletic director it's going to take a lot of work and time.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, I don't see Tom Brady doing that. No, no.
Okay.
He got too much money. He's got too much money, and his name is too big for that. Now, Tom Brady is worth more to Michigan just to show up at homecoming. That's all he got to do is show up at homecoming every 2 to 4 years and just be Tom Brady. That's all they got to do. He
Okay.
don't have to schedule a game. He don't have to coach a game. All he got to do is show up, be Tom Brady, and smile for the people.
Okay.
And you know what? Maybe even once in a while, lead the fight song. That's all he got to do, man.
Be the honorary captain.
That's all he got to do. He is Tom freaking Brady for the rest of his life. That's all he got to be. Is Tom freaking Brady, and stay out of trouble. He could just ride the wave on all his good work, all his hard work. Uh, Tom Brady, man, the greatest quarterback that I ever seen play the game. Um, what you got left on that? Cause I'm gonna go into another story.
Anybody gonna get 7 Super Bowls?
Uh, it's a hell of a feat. You know? I heard that Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than any one franchise in the NFL.
That's true.
That's unique.
Yeah, because I think the most belongs to the Steelers, right? With 6.
Yeah, yeah. So going to Tampa and winning that one Super Bowl separated him from New England, and it also puts him in a rare, just an extremely rare category as far as NFL athletes and franchises. So in that instance, he is the GOAT,
Yeah, yeah.
but not the best football player to ever play. No,
And we and
he's
we agree there.
yeah. Um, ultimate the one of probably one of the as far as my experience of seeing team guys, probably the ultimate team player in sports history. I mean, given the fact that he bought into Bill Belichick for so long, and before he actually left, it was probably getting a little challenging down towards the end as his knowledge of the game picked up and his ideas of some of the things he may have wanted to do. And then Bill Belichick being like, you're getting the kind of long in the tooth, and I would like to replace you, and all that stuff start to add up. But ultimate team, he probably the ultimate team guy that really affected winning, no matter how they had to do it. Run the ball, throw the ball, defense, play defense, whatever we need to do to win. Tom Brady seemed like he was down for that. We're going to kick a field goal to win the game? Fine. I just want to win. And
Yeah,
I give him credit for that.
yeah. He definitely. I never felt like it was about him. It was always about winning, and that's what you want to see, I guess, from your best. Like, yes, you get all the praise, you get all the credit, but it never really was about him. It was about winning. So you got to tip your cap for that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But now, the one thing we talked about Tom, but there's some other news that happened
Yeah.
that I haven't I haven't heard a lot of people cover it, and I'm gonna credit Tom Brady's retirement to this. But I'm gonna be paying attention to how they cover this story over the next week going into the Super Bowl. Josh Seals, I think the offensive lineman of the Philadelphia Eagles, has been put on the commissioner's exempt list because he's gotten indicted on rape and kidnapping charges in Ohio, and he's set to go to court on February the 16th. So that will be after the Super Bowl. But my thing is, I have not heard like all the big time sports media, ESPN, Fox Sports One. I seen it on the Fox Sports One ticker down at the bottom, but I have yet to see anybody just make a point to call the story and talk about it as they would some brothers in the NFL, NBA, whatever you have. It'd be so. I'm gonna pay attention to how long it's gonna take them to spotlight this story and how big of a deal are they gonna make it? Because it's right here. It's right here in our face.
Right.
He's on a Super Bowl contending football team a week before the Super Bowl. So how are the sports media, ESPN, Fox Sports, how are they going to cover this story? And I'm going to be really paying attention to that. So the next time I see you, the next time we see each other on this platform, we want to kind of keep track on that.
Yeah, because I personally haven't watched a lot of coverage today because it's been so much. It's been Tom Brady centric and heavy. Like, how many times we gonna just repeat the same narratives and say the same things? We just Stephen A. give his take, Max Kellerman give his take, Colin Cowherd. Like, okay, we get it. So I'll definitely have Sports Center turned on tonight. You know, when I about to lay it down and just to see what the coverage is. I hope it's not a Brett Favre situation when, you know, he did what he did. And that was like, it was like 2 weeks before it really even, it didn't even pick up the proper steam that it was supposed to. It was just kind of like the public outcry that they started bringing it to light. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if there's some unwritten gag order put on the media for Super Bowl Media Day next week to not ask any of the Eagles this question because they don't want to take attention away from the game and they prize moneymaker. So I wouldn't be surprised to that. But we're going to watch these outlets to see if it gets covered with the proper attention that it should be covered with.
When you bring up that Brett Favre thing, this is the thing with Brett Favre and how they covered it and how much they covered and stuff like that. Now, you're right. ESPN, Fox Sports, whatever. They can take these situations, they can draw them out day after day after day after day. But this story in particular is a little bit more relevant because, in my opinion, because it's right before the Super Bowl. And the Brett Favre thing is relevant, but he's not an active player in the NFL.
But you know, the thing with the Brett Favre is, okay, let's say it was Warren Moon that did it. Mm-hmm. Is the coverage going to be the same? We know that coverage is going to be turned up in height.
Probably not. Probably not. They're gonna use Shannon and they're gonna use Stephen A. to bring it to the forefront, and we're gonna fall out about it some kind of way. You're exactly right. I gotta give it to you. Yeah. I mean, I gotta give it to you. Now, I'm gonna shout out to my man Jason Whitlock.
You know he got in some hot water this week too for what?
Yeah. I know, but that's why I'm shouting him out. Because he's bringing light to some things that we really need to hear. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I ain't gonna touch that one. You know, I got some.
We can talk about
these pen albums. You know, I can't.
I know. We can talk about that some other time, but it needs to be discussed at some point in time in our community. But anyway, you know, Josh Seals indicted for rape, kidnapping in Ohio, set to go to court on February 16th, so he will not be in the Super Bowl. He's being put on commissioner's exempt list, and there you got it. Now, if you didn't get it from ESPN and you didn't get it from Fox Sports, you got it on Watch the Game, Gossip Edition.
Right.
Now, damn it, now you know. Now, also, Stetson Bennett got arrested.
Now,
okay,
this is news to me.
See, This happened about a week ago. This happened about a week ago. It's been
A-
about a week old. We
After
just haven't had.
after
Go ahead.
the offensive lineman died in the accident, this happened after that.
Uh Now that's a story I didn't know much about.
Yeah, this happened in the after the victory parade. Uh, Offensive lineman killed. He died in a car accident, and two others was injured that was in the car with him.
Offensive lineman for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yep.
Okay. Now see, you just put me up on game with that one. But yeah, man, Stetson Bennett, he got arrested as well in Dallas, and I just was like, I mean, hell, we about 3 weeks removed from the national championship game right now, something like that.
Yeah.
National championship game was on January the
January the 9th.
9th.
Yep, the 9th.
So yeah, we made a few weeks removed from that. Maybe a week or two after that, he was arrested in Dallas. I can't remember what it was for, but it's just interesting to me how they cover these stories and they drag them out from time to time, depending on who it is. Uh, but we did have the NFL playoffs to kind of cover that stuff up. That's probably why you didn't really know about it. It's probably why they didn't. I'm not giving his excuse because had it been one of his teammates, his draft status would really be dropping at this point.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how now he already is like on the outside looking in on the NFL draft process, but how is this going to affect him going into the draft? You know, combine. They wonder if he gonna even be invited to the combine. You know what I'm saying? Like the average, like most of the quarterbacks, the high profile quarterbacks that's going to be coming into the 2023 NFL draft. So couple stories to kind of follow up on later on down the road here. Watch the game podcast. So what was that? Oh, just scoop some things I got written down. Hey, your man George Foreman got a movie coming out. All right. So that comes out, I guess, in April. I just want to, give you some good news. We're gonna, slicing it up. We just rambling and gossiping and stuff like that. So George Foreman, he's got a movie coming out about his fall from grace when he lost to Muhammad Ali in forget how they
The
the
Rumble in the Jungle.
the
Zaire.
Rumble in the Jungle, yeah, and then how he, kind of got away from the limelight. Then he, this movie's about him, how he made that comeback. Some of the things he had to go through to inspire him to make a comeback and become the oldest heavyweight champion of the world.
Because he
So
beat him.
his movie's coming out in April. Say it again.
Didn't he came back? I think he was in his 40s, wasn't he? And he beat Evander Holyfield
He beat Michael Moore
to get the
for the
belt.
heavyweight championship, and
Okay.
then Evander Holyfield. I think Evander beat him to get the belt.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but he's got a movie coming out. It's an interesting movie coming out. Just some, like I say, just some worthy gossip we want to throw out there.
Did you
Big. Go ahead.
did you know Bad Boys 4 has been officially announced? Did you know that?
Nah, I don't even think I seen Bad Boys Part 3.
Listen, it's really bad. I was just happy to see Martin and Will back on the screen when I saw it the first time. But when I
Yeah.
watched it on the plane going to New York, I said, this is some bull jive right here. It was not good. So I'm not really excited about it, but they was all hyped up on social media. Martin and Will was together when they announced it. So Bad Boys 4 is coming out.
Yeah, as we speak, some big time games that's kicking off, and probably gonna wind it up on this note, because we got the rest of the week. and then we go later on into the next week, and then we'll get into the Super Bowl matchup with the Eagles, and the Chiefs. So we're gonna leave a little bit on the bone for that coming up next week because we got to allow some stories to unfold with of course these two quarterbacks battling some injuries. Now, um, one thing when I talk about these two games, we gonna talk about this NFL, the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. Um, the the thing is, as much as we talked about the quarterback position, and remember I told you, I said the two teams that's gonna win are the team that run the football the best.
Yep.
So this is my first time really looking at the box score since I made that prediction. The Eagles
I
pretty
know.
much went.
Yeah.
Eagles pretty much went out and beat 49ers team with basically no quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at the stats. It amazes me how they sell you these football games and they sell you these games and they sell you these quarterbacks. But uh 15 for 25, 121 yards pass. No
Jalen Hurts.
touchdowns. No
Jalen.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh 148 yards rushing total as a team. No one looks specifically spectacular. Two really good defensive teams on the field, first and foremost. The 49ers defense was out there. Seemed like they was on the field all night long.
And they knew they
And
didn't have no chance, especially when
yeah,
they ain't had no quarterback. They knew.
so like I say, it come down to who can run the damn football. I mean, 148 yards, combined, 44 rushes for 148 yards combined for the Eagles for 4 touchdowns. They win 31-7, and then the the 49ers, they were able to rush for 81 yards, 24 carries for 81 yards. Okay, but the biggest discrepancy, no quarterback.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy went down early. Who would you say was the MVP of this game?
Uh, what's his name? Number 7, Haskins. Yep.
You're right.
It was that because he wrecked the game in the first quarter and it was over after that. The Eagles, they damn near played 10 in the box for the rest of the game. I
Yeah.
saw one safety high just for safety reasons, a real literal definition of safety. But they knew it was over with. And when Josh Johnson was in there, that dude was a deer in headlights.
Hey, shout out to my man TJ Moore. I just got a notification from him. He tuned into the show tonight. That's one of my old co-workers
Yo, yo,
a few
yo.
years back. TJ Moore, what's happening, man? Then we step into this this Kansas City Chiefs in the Bengals game. The Joe Burrow matchup against Patrick Mahomes was the big story coming in. Uh, that game in particular, 23-20. Not a lot of scoring. And I think going into this game, you would have thought that it was going to be a lot more points scored in this game. But the defense is surprisingly, there was a lot of hard hitting going on in this game. I mean, officiating came into play.
Yep.
Yeah, so officiating came into play in the Philadelphia game as well with the what's the Devontae
On the catch, the not catch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the one they didn't, they really got back on the field and ran another play, but he didn't catch that ball. But that it was more than just that one play. It was the Eagles just dominated. I mean, their defense made a few more bigger plays than than the 49ers defense did. They got the quarterback off the field, and then it was downhill from there. Knocked Purdy out in the first half, then knocked Josh Johnson out with a concussion. And it seemed like they knocked him out right at the right time because he was starting to get a rhythm somewhat passing the football. McCaffrey played a hell of a game. I mean, he gave it everything he had, man. He played a hell of a game. I got to give it up to him. He played a hell of a game, considering that he was on the losing end for the 49ers.
I I gotta, like I said, tip my cap to the defense because they was on the field. Man, out of 60 minutes, they had to be on the field for a strong north of 35 minutes in that game. And for them to keep playing like they did, because I know me. I know if I'm on that defense, I know we ain't got no quarterback. Like, damn, we done came all this way, and now we can't get to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't care what we do. We not gonna win this game because we ain't got no
Mm-hmm.
offense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going through the motions at that point. Especially if I'm a 10-year guy. If I'm Bosa, if I'm Fred Warner, I know I'm coming back. Like, yeah, I'm mailing it in. I'm mailing it in. So I got to tip my cap to the D.
Kittle had an opportunity to kind of answer that question, like you just said. They asked him how did it feel, and he said it just really sucked, to go out and play. You don't have a quarterback, and they pretty much said pretty much the same thing you just said. Uh, but now we got our matchup. We got the first time in history we got two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. With Patrick Mahomes going up against uh, Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl, Glendale, Arizona. So that's going to be an interesting thing. And you got the Kelsey brothers playing against each other. And then you got the story with Andy Reid going up against his former team. A lot of storylines that be followed in this game. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to pick the Chiefs because I have a hard time thinking that Patrick Mahomes is going to be, and this is his third Super Bowl, and I have a tough time thinking he's going to come out of this 1-3 in the Super Bowls.
Yeah, yeah. I really ain't got no dog in the fight. So at the end of the day, I just want to see a good game. Don't give me the Seahawks Broncos. Don't give me that. To any of our female viewers, please know it's the Chiefs and the Eagles playing in the Super Bowl. I know you probably there just for Rihanna, but please at least know when you get asked at work around the office, there you go. Watch the game podcast. Let you know Chiefs and the Eagles. Um, I can see a scenario if the Chiefs don't get some of they outside weapons back because Patrick Mahomes was throwing the practice squad guys at the end of that game at the AFC Championship. So if he has no Juju, no Kadarius Toney, who's the third MVS was there to kind of push Sky Moore and them other guys back down to their real position. I can see a situation where the Eagles go ahead and upset them because the Eagles coming in pretty healthy. 2 weeks from now, so you gotta assume Mahomes will be 100% because he looked pretty good in the AFC Championship game with the ankle. So if he get his receivers back, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. If he does not, I would not be surprised to see the Eagles squeak out a tight one.
Like I say, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I just don't see Patrick Mahomes losing 2 out of 3 Super Bowls
Yeah,
because getting to the Super Bowl at this point in time in his career, he's got to feel like he belongs there. This organization have to feel like they belong there. But the Eagles, just a few years removed from a Super Bowl championship themselves, but I don't. Kelsey. I don't know if there's any other players on this team. We might have to check that has the experience of being on that team. 2017 that won the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. That was the game where Tom Brady had a chance to catch a pass. He didn't make it, but he didn't make the catch. But uh, how many players still on that team from 2017 that could take this experience into this Super Bowl other than Kelsey, uh, that can go in there and say, we going in here with the experience, we expect it to be here, and we expect to win. I believe the Chiefs are going in there with more so that attitude than anyone else.
I think on the defensive side, maybe was is Frank Clark. Frank Clark still there? I think he was on the team there. I know Honey Badger is gone. I know he went to back Super Bowls with him, but he's no longer there. I think they overhauled their whole secondary. So I don't think
We
any of the
talking about the Eagles, right?
no
You
for
talking
the
about the Eagles?
no, I'm saying for the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
but
You said
the Chiefs, you got Travis Kelsey, you got Patrick Mahomes, of course the coach Andy Reid, uh,
and
and I have
Frank
trouble remembering Frank. Who
the
you
D
got?
line. Yeah, the Frank Clark the D line.
Jones was it was the
Was
number
he there?
98 Jones. I
He
had to
might have
think he
been.
was when they won Super Bowl. Yeah, yeah, the
It's,
defensive, the one. That matter of
it's
fact, he one of the best defensive quarter. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league, and then he ended up getting his first NFL playoff sack this season.
yeah,
I
which is
believe it's
crazy.
Jones.
Chandler
Yeah,
Jones.
but yeah, so just the experience of first of all the expectations of going to the Super Bowl had to be there for the Chiefs, and then I
Yeah.
think with the Eagles, it was just like 4 weeks in they undefeated. Few weeks in, and I think they kind of like the wave was just they were just building confidence. But now here we are, we're about to play on the biggest stage, and I just think that the Chiefs probably expected to be there more than the Eagles. The Eagles were probably just going through it, building and building and building, and then with the offense, the continuity of running the same offense for Jalen Hurts, having a chance to just maybe bringing the weapons in. I mean, bringing other guys that probably like receiver, number 11 for the Eagles. Bringing
Like
in guys that
yeah.
came from yeah, coming from other places and coming to Philly, and now we're trying some winning to it, and then hey, here we are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that notion, that take. Yeah. I was just before I was just trying to really recount who was on that Chiefs team that was in the Super Bowl. But yeah, and two, you got to think about it too. They came into the season. Yeah, they was all in on Jalen Hurts, but they didn't know what Jalen Hurts was gonna have a season like this. They had no idea. They probably was just hoping like, okay, let's compete for the division. We know we got a solid team. We get in the playoffs, then let the chips fall where they may. But I don't think they went into it thinking we're gonna be the number one seed. We're gonna have home field advantage. No, no way.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. We're gonna have to let these stories develop going into the week, and kind of see where we at when it comes down to the actual game itself. But tonight, as we close and we allow our fans to go out and uh enjoy some NBA basketball, the biggest game of the night is the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Celtics. I believe they're playing that game in Boston. That's the hottest ticket of the night. As far as if you sit down on your couch in the cold Midwest or cold, you know, deep in the winter, first day of February, sit down and watch that game, some NBA basketball. I think they about 15 minutes in, maybe just not tipping off. So I'm gonna settle and watch myself as I become a better NBA basketball fan. So many narratives. I'm gonna touch on a couple of them, then we can get out of here. But since the beginning of the season, like I said, tonight it's about the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. But since the beginning of the season, every week it's Okay, the beginning of the season training camp. You got the Draymond Green gets into an altercation with a teammate. Ooh, right?
Right, Jordan Poole.
Uh, uh, okay, now this wasn't there. Okay, now there's always something going on in the NBA. You clear that up. Okay, that's gone, and then you come with the Ime Doke situation. I mean, one may have the order now. I may have the order. I may have it out of order. But Ime Doke with the Boston Celtics
Right.
before the season started. And
Yo. I think we just lost. We just lost LA. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I think we lost his feed was a little bad. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. We appreciate y'all for being here with us on Watch the Game podcast. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode, the gossip edition, up. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you are not following the page, please do so because we got some things that we want to roll out to you guys. But we're just trying to grow this thing and come along on the journey with us. So like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'm Benjamin Banneker signing off for L.A. Cheatham. Y'all be smooth.